Number 56, Caroline DeMesquita.
Hey everyone, so I am getting on today. It is officially 4 days since my competition. Still obviously lean, which is what you want, right? So that is going to be my focus on today's topic, is proper reverse dieting, why you reverse diet coming out of the show, and considerations for metabolic health, hormone health, thyroid health, especially coming out of a competition season. So precursor, I'm not a doctor, always consult someone who's a medical professional for specific recommendations for your situation. I do have openings for clients right now, so if you are looking for someone to help guide you in the right direction as a functional health coach, I work specifically with doctors going hand in hand to resolve the root cause and looking at where your health can be corrected or improved and optimized based on your symptoms. So, got my contact info below, feel free to reach out. But, like I said, 4 days post-show, how am I feeling? Well, since I've been eating more food, a lot better. I usually, at least 2 days after show, so like the night after finals, I usually go get a nice dinner out. Usually I'm bloated by going to bed because I kind of overeat a little bit that next day, and the following day I usually just make them almost like free days to kind of just eat what I want, enjoy food, enjoy quality time, make sure I'm out and about moving. I usually don't train, but I'll try and do a little bit of cardio. I think it was Saturday morning, I ended up doing my cardio walk, and I just did like very light glute activation in the hotel room hotel workout room before we went and got brunch. So that's kind of my couple days post-show. And then usually like that new week that starts is when I start a brand new plan. Now, rule of thumb that I go by and what my coach goes by is typically when you're coming out of a extreme caloric deficit, you can't jump immediately to surplus or maintenance calories. Reason being, your thyroid and your metabolism, which work hand in hand, have been suppressed for several weeks. So that's why you're able to eat lower calories without feeling super hungry or not having that hunger urge, which is caused from your ghrelin and your leptin hormones. Those are getting affected as your thyroid and your metabolism gets slowed down. So when you continue to be in a cut for several weeks, most people do competition preps for 10 to 12, sometimes 16 weeks, some people 26 weeks. That's going to affect your metabolic rate. It's called metabolic adaptation. Adaptation is good. You want your body to respond and to adapt and to do it quickly. But in some instances, when you do it for so long, that's when you start to have issues that it isn't able to kick back on and start burning at a higher rate. So you have to really be methodical, otherwise you're risking putting on body fat that you just spent how many weeks trying to burn off, and usually that body fat isn't healthy body fat. It's more of that visceral body fat, or a lot of women have issues with that estrogen causing them to create more fat cells, which scientifically speaking, women are meant to have more adipose cells developed because we are baby makers, essentially. And the body is trying to protect our reproductive organs so that we can have a child and get pregnant, etc. So usually my calories are going to increase 20 to 30%. So I was at like 900 and some calories for peak week, and not including refeeds. And so this new week, my base calories are like 1350, which is a pretty big jump. Now, keep in mind I was doing caffeine and stimulants in the morning, and so during that time, I was able to suppress my appetite because I wasn't eating, and coffee and stimulants suppress appetite naturally, which is why I usually advise people not drinking coffee first thing in the morning. You want to get a meal in, then maybe have some coffee if you need that focused stimulation. So, needless to say, increasing my calories. Usually we don't change calories until after like 2 weeks and reassessing like how my body's recomping, how much weight did I put on, am I bloated, what is my biofeedback like. So that's one facet of the reverse diet. The other pieces that are extremely important is your activity. So I usually do a deload from the gym. I can't push myself super hard the weeks coming out of a show because I'm mentally and physically just drained. So I did a leg day yesterday. I'm taking today as a rest day. I did my cardio this morning. We decreased cardio, so that's another piece. We keep cardio in, but you want to decrease it a little bit so that your body is able to start recouping and repairing. My cardio is just walking anyways, so I'm just not wearing my weighted vest anymore, focusing on just getting good blood flow in the morning, stretching, yoga. The gym sessions, deloading, usually it's just lower volume, lower weights, getting good pump, and then maybe sit in the sauna, stretch, head home. Pretty simple. So I'll usually do like the 2 weeks coming out of the show, 3 to 4 training days a week. And it's hard because I love training, but in the same sense, I've learned over time that if I try and just push my body, especially coming out of the show, I have more issues with my metabolic damage longer than if I taper it down now, slow and steady, slowly increase food. So last element that is extremely important and most people don't talk about is a PCT protocol. So what does that mean? Some people have heard of PCT as post-cycle therapy, specifically for using steroids. I've used performance enhancers this prep, and because of that, I basically cut them out after the day of show, and now it's supporting those hormones that were being affected by substances. So how do you do that? Well, first and foremost, you want to support the liver, you want to support the gut, and you want to support your adrenals. So right now, I have a whole Excel file of what are my supplements I'm taking in the morning, during certain meals, at night, so that I can recalibrate all the parts of my system so that I can start to get my body back to equilibrium. How will I know when it's at equilibrium? Well, I won't feel like crap because I'm not on any caffeine. That would be number one for my adrenals. Number two, I'll be able to sleep through the night, which has been the hardest thing the last 4 weeks. And number three, I'll get my period back online. So those are like the 3 vital signs, especially as a female, that you're gonna know, like, is your body being able to get rebalanced coming out of the show? And I do want to just say that even if you're a natural athlete, having a post-show plan and a reverse plan and a PCT protocol is super important, because even as a natural athlete, your thyroid and your metabolism can be affected. I was actually talking to a friend the other day. She has issues because of Hashimoto's. She still competes, but because of her health history and Hashimoto's being an autoimmune disorder, if she doesn't take precautions in her micronutrients and making sure she has enough iodine, selenium, and some other micronutrients, she's just going to have more issues with her thyroid in the long run. Especially for those of you who might add in T3. If you add in T3, you need to make sure you're going to support the thyroid coming out of the show with something like a thyroid glandular. I use ThyroBoost from New Ethics. Adding in that, but also adding in some of the vitamins, like I just mentioned, that can help naturally lift it up. So you're going to be doing that not only for your thyroid, but also for your sex hormones. And even if you're someone who's not considering having a baby, we know that having a regular menstrual cycle is proof of your hormone health being where it needs to be. So it's kind of where I'm at right now, and I will admit I've been enjoying a little bit more food yesterday and the day before that was over the 1,300 calorie. Since I'm not training today, I'm going to stick to that calorie marker though, because it's going to be easier, and I want to make sure that I'm doing my due diligence so I don't put on excess body fat too quickly and doing it the right way. So make sure that you're working with a coach who understands that. If you have a coach that doesn't give you a post-cycle or post-show plan, that's a red flag. That's their job. Their job isn't just to put you on stage. Their job should be to make sure that you're healthy so you can compete again. If you can't do that, like coming out of a show and then they expect you to do another competition, sorry, but that's probably not the right coach to be working with, in my opinion. And when it comes down to it, like, I've had some people already like critiquing me on YouTube and on Instagram saying how amazing I did and XYZ. Well, I'm proud of how good I did considering the circumstances, but I know I have more potential in me. So that's just me like wanting to continue to improve and be better in the sport and in life. And that's what's going to make me a stronger competitor in the future if I do decide to step on stage. When it will be, I don't know. But right now my plan is to reverse diet the proper way, get my hormones healthy, get some blood work done, which I usually don't get blood work until about 8 weeks coming out of the show because that's usually how long it takes to kind of normalize things. And so I'll be getting a Dutch and regular labs done to see where all my levels are at. And from there, it'll be just making sure I keep my health in check, blood sugars, cortisol, and then be able to start growing again. So nice to be a little bit leaner for summertime. Is it required? Nah. So that's kind of the update on where I'm at right now with this show coming out of it. I also had some critiques about my posing routine, and I wanted to address that real quick. I've watched it several times, and I'm not satisfied with it. I felt like it was sloppy compared to what I've done in the past, and my hair was like one of the factors that was really bothering me, and I had to keep messing with it, and I just felt like it was a rushed routine. So appreciate all y'all's feedback. More specifically the women. Men, I don't really care for your feedback. It doesn't matter to me. So I just want to get better so I can help more women because I am a posing coach, and that's what I've been preaching to my women is to slow down during your routine, look confident, and have fun. And I had fun in my routine, don't get me wrong. Like the song that was playing when I walked out was like a jam. So I think that's part of the reason I got a little sloppy because I was just like trying to relax, but then I got a little bit too relaxed. So if you guys have questions more on this reverse dieting, metabolic dysfunction, this is what I'm going to be talking about for the next several videos. So drop your comments below, let me know, and continue to just pursue your own greatness. And know that every single loss that you experience is going to make those wins that much more enjoyable and that much more worth it. And be grateful for every part of your process because these are the character building moments that we get to experience in life.